Action.
So for literally years at this point, the Streamlight TLR-7 HL has been a staple in the weapon light world, in the weapon light sphere. If you value having a high quality, especially affordable weapon light for your pistol, you probably have a TLR-7 HL in your inventory, if not multiple ones like I do. Well, Streamlight came along and said, well, that's not good enough. We can make everybody's pistol light smaller with higher output. In walks the TLR-7 HLX. Let's get into this. So Streamlight's been doing a lot lately. Not long ago, I did a video on the TLR-7X, which is sort of the replacement to the TLR-7A. I've talked about the TLR-7 HL multitudes of times. And in the release of the X, there was a lot of talk about like high candela heads and stuff like that. So Streamlight released this year, 2024, the TLR-7 HLX. Now this thing is a direct competitor to themselves in size like the TLR-7X, but in output or higher output than the TLR-7 HL. And in this video, we're going to compare all three: output, size, function, things like that. And you can make up your mind on which fits your needs the best. Now feel free to pause here because these are some of the less interesting specs. I'm going to get into the ones that what I consider really count right now. So let's start with output. This thing is 1,000 lumens and 22,000 candela, yet it has the same footprint as the TLR-7X or TLR-7A, which has 500 lumens and 5,000 candela. Comparatively, the TLR-7 HL, which is much, much bigger, has 1,000 lumens and 20,000 candela. Now, with all of that output fit into this little tiny body, there is a little bit of give, and that is in runtime. So constant runtime on its highest setting, on its highest programmable setting is 30 minutes. Now, on its low setting, it does have an hour and a half runtime, which is the same the TLR-7X has on its high setting. However, if you are a momentary person, right, that runtime will be a very long time. You'll get a lot of use out of one battery. Speaking of battery, it does take the SLB, SL9, SLB9, whatever the Streamlight equivalent to like the CR123A battery is. This will also take a CR123A battery as well. However, it does come with the rechargeable Streamlight equivalent. And like any other Streamlight product, it is 10-tap programmable to get strobe, high, low, and to program this thing however you'd like to do. It is a long press for momentary, just like anything else they make, and a tap for constant on. So I said the footprints are the same to the TLR-7A and X to the TLR-7 HLX. It also has the same switches, same switchology, so your training will cross over, and it is that push kind of forward and down into the button. Now it is the same bezel or head diameter as the TLR-7AX series, but the head is considerably longer, really about twice to 2/3 longer than what the 7A and 7X are. Now what this means is that your 7A, 7X holsters aren't necessarily going to work with this particular light, although there are a ton of companies out there, including Works, which is my favorite holster company. I'll put a link to Works down below if you are interested in getting one of these lights for your pistol. Works sells one. There's others that do as well. But unless you're working with an open-ended holster that shows the face of the TLR-7A or X light, this will not work. This will protrude or hit the end of your Kydex as you're trying to holster, not allowing you to holster completely. So I mentioned the output differences in the TLR-1 HL and TLR-7 HLX. The HL being a 1000 lumen, 20,000 candela light. It's far bigger, as you can see, and it uses two SLB9 or CR1238 batteries, where this uses one. However, the output of the HLX, the TLR-7 HLX, is 22,000 candela and 1,000 lumens. Now, does that extra 2,000 candela mean a spit? I actually didn't think so when I first got it. I was screwing around with them at home, things like that, kind of comparing light beams and whatnot, until last night. Last night I actually did the test where I shine all these lights in my face, and as many weapon lights as I've ever tested, I was surprised on how much more intensity, usable intensity and significant intensity 2,000 candela really gives you. So here is the TLR-7X. Everything around me is black. I can sort of see a bit of a shadow here because the light is actually behind my camera a little bit, so I can see a shadow from the camera and tripod, but everything is black. I can't see anything. Getting hit in the face with this absolutely sucks. Still a great light, but let's check out the TLR-1 HL. All right, so this is significantly worse. I'm back out here at like 15 yards. I can't see the camera anymore, so I could see myself in my viewfinder with the TLR-7X. From back here, I could see that I was being lit up. I can no longer see anything. I actually had to block the light out and use my handheld just to see that I was in the middle of the screen, the viewfinder. Yeah, way worse, as you would expect. The difference between 500 candela and 5,000 lumens, 500 lumens and 5,000 candela to 1,000 lumens and 20,000 candela. So now let's check out the TLR-7 HLX. All right, so this is, I'm getting bugs all over me because they like the light. This is noticeably worse than the TLR-1 HL. The 2,000 candela doesn't seem to add much. When I was looking at the target and stuff, that you could tell that the HLX was a bit tighter beam. But as far as like lighting up the target at that 15 yards, I didn't see the difference. There is a difference with it shining in your face. If you see it flickering, it's because there are giant Mothra moths flying in front of it right now. It's not the light. But it's worse. It's definitely worse. And I don't know if it's the smaller head with the intensity with the candela addition, but like I'm just looking at the ground at this point, just because if I look up at you, it sucks really, really bad. But I can definitely tell a difference in the tightness of the beam, how it's affecting my eyes, how it's affecting what I can see around me. It was even harder to see in the viewfinder, even blocking the light a little bit and trying to look around my hand to see in the viewfinder if I was, in the middle of the camera. It was even harder to do that. So that extra 2,000 candela, 1,000 lumen to 22,000 candela, does make an impact. All right, so here is the TLR-7 HLX. We're at 15 to 20 yards away from that steel target. That is a small, like C-zone steel target. So there is the TLR-7 HLX. All right, so there's some bushes over there that are just a little farther, maybe another 15 yards farther. And the target. So comparing that to the TLR-7X, You can really see on those bushes out there, you can see that the candela isn't as high and the light is not as intense on the TLR-7X as it is the HL. You can even see that the hot spot on the HLX is a bit tighter. So HLX, the TLR-7 HLX, 1,000 lumens, 22,000 candela. The TLR-7X, 500 lumens, 5,000 candela. So TLR-7 HLX and TLR-1 HL. Very, very similar. Now some of the differences is probably the head size on the two. And that 2,000 candela, the difference in them. So this is the TLR-1 HL is 1,000 lumens, 20,000 candela. The HLX over here, the TLR-7 HLX is 1,000 lumens, 22,000 candela. And it does have a bit tighter beam, as you can see there, than the HL. But the HL also has a much larger head to it. At the end of the day, what is the TLR-7 HLX offering over the other ones? So it's offering a small footprint, lighter, smaller light for concealment and things like that. It's not as bulky. Now, I'm not rushing out to get rid of my TLR-1 HLs. These are extremely serviceable lights and have worked very well in both duty and self-defense use for many years. I'm not taken away from this at all. But it does offer a smaller body, smaller package, especially for concealment. If you're carrying appendix and you have a light sticking out, you know what that can, you know some of the comfort issues that can come in with that. But with the smaller body, it is offering a higher output than the larger model TLR-1 HL. So how much does all of this cost from Streamlight for this new light? And to the YouTube censors, I'm not selling anything. I don't sell any regulated goods, anything like that. I'm just forwarding information to the viewer so that they can make the best decisions possible. These come in on Amazon right now for $170. I think that is a good price. We live in a world where there's other companies out there charging considerably more money for a lower output light with less features and everything else. So I think at $170, that's not bad. It is more expensive than either one of these. I think the TLR-1 HL is coming in around $130, something like that, and so is the TLR-7X. With that said, it is the most expensive of the three, but it is also the highest output of the three. So take that for what it is. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. Again, thank you to Streamlight for sending that out to the channel to use and review. I think it's a fantastic light. It probably will find and keep a home here on my Grit Grips Complete Pistol. Check out the links down in the description to help support the channel and to possibly find that ways to find the Streamlight products. You can also become a member of the channel. That is a fantastic help. You get members only previews and members only posts and things like that. So I appreciate everybody out there, and we'll talk to you later. This is noticeably worse than the TLR-1 HL.